Let's check in with Joseph Lindsley in Ukraine.
I can barely even keep track of how many attacks there were in the past few days, on Sunday and then yesterday on Monday.
Little Joe Lindsley.
Joe Lindsley is quickly becoming an American treasure in broadcasting.
Welcome to Ukraine Bank.
Joe, I wonder about your level of fear, because I know you go to Kharkiv a lot, and Russia has been hitting parks and shopping centers there. Obviously, they want people to leave the city so they can invade it and claim it. And in your travels now, do you have a higher level of fear? Are we having trouble making our connection with Joseph? Let's double check there and reconnect. As we were talking about last week, it was very strange. We've gone so long without any trouble hearing from Joseph, and then lo and behold, one day about a week or so ago, everything was fine with our communication setup, and then as soon as it was time to broadcast, he couldn't, and he has like 2 or 3 backup systems, and they all failed at the same time, coincidentally, during the time of our broadcast. And then when our time was up, his communication lines were reestablished. So are the Russians paying attention to Joseph Lindsley now? Who knows, I guess. Could be. We don't know. Anyway, we'll try to make our contact with him. There is a lot of news out of Ukraine. And in addition to my curiosity about Joseph himself and his level of fear these days, I wanted to ask him about some changes going on in the hierarchy of Russia. All right, we have him back now. Joe, are you with us? Everything okay there?
Yes. Can you hear me okay? 1, 2, 3.
Now we got you. Yeah.
Does this connection work? Great. Fantastic. Yeah, well, this has been, I could hear you talking. This has been a problem here, connecting. There's problems with infrastructure. But beyond that, here in LVIV, it's calm right now. But yes, the situation in Kharkiv, a city I know very well, is absolutely terrible. I want to, because I know that city well, and because I know so many people there, I want to sort of help you feel what it's like there. And, it's been, on Saturday, there's a place called the Epicenter. It's sort of like a cross between a Costco and a Home Depot. And, it's beautiful weather. People are, they have to go to get supplies to repair their houses from missile attacks. So many damaged windows throughout the city. People also are continuing to live and planting their gardens. And so this massive sort of Costco size place was absolutely packed on a Saturday afternoon, more than 200 people when the Russians bombed it. Just absolutely heinous, awful attack. You can see some of it from the internal CCTV. And then within, as people rushed to the scene, now the Russians increasingly commonly are doing these double tap attacks to attack the rescue workers. So as you're going to save lives, you know that you're under threat. And then just about an hour after that attack, the Russians hit Central Park, which is Centralny Park. They hit that, which also was crowded because it was a beautiful afternoon and people were out in the park. That same park the Russians had hit just the week before. But notably, when they hit it a week before, within an hour after that attack, people were back in the park and it was filled up. But what the Russians are achieving now with these very intensifying of attacks upon Kharkiv city, fewer people are showing up in the parks. And what I hear from people there, the streets are quieter. In fact, a third time on Saturday, after those 2 attacks on the Epicenter sort of Home Depot place and on the Central Park, the Russians again hit the center of the city. I can barely even keep track of how many attacks there were in the past few days, on Sunday and then yesterday on Monday. So what we're seeing is, as you said, Bob, it's clearly an effort to get the people to leave the city. The Russians have been explicit about this. I don't see huge evidence of an exodus yet, but it's dangerous to be anywhere in that town. And, for example, the bomb that hit the Epicenter store was a Russian glide bomb, it's launched from a Russian airplane on Russian territory. And Ukrainians can't do anything about that. So Kharkiv is totally protected because the West, including the U.S., but also European nations, refused to give Ukraine to hit anything over Russian soil. And in fact, we heard today that the Kingdom of Belgium is going to be sending 28 fighter jets, 28 F-16s to Ukraine. And this sounds good on the face of it, but look closer to the details, and they stipulate that the F-16s may not be used to hit anything over Russian soil. So a place like Kharkiv would still remain unprotected. And then further, and the crazy thing, out of the 30 F-16 or 29 F-16s that Belgium is going to send, 28 of them will be delivered by 2028, and only one of them will arrive in Ukraine in 2024. Wow. This is astounding. You know, if we go back to last summer, we heard, F-16s will be in Ukraine by September of 2023. In September, the West said by Christmas, and then they said by March, and they keep extending it. And really, more and more people are saying that it seems clear that the West does not want, the United States does not want F-16s here until there is some kind of negotiation and some kind of partition. This is very difficult for people in Kharkiv. They feel abandoned as they continue to face this hellfire.
How scared are you now, Joseph?
In a way you get used to it. But I know that if I do go to Kharkiv soon, it's going to be a different feeling. I always have that sick feeling arriving there, but the spirit is so strong. But it's I want to be there, but there's a bit of a reluctance, of course, because it's so dangerous.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, be safe and stay cautious. We'll talk to you tomorrow, hopefully with no
For the connection problems until tomorrow.
Thank you for introducing Ukraine on your social media pages. That's very important that much more people can get more information about the situation here and how everybody can help Ukraine to stay stronger and to save all the world.
Что он сказал?
Well, which side are you on?
На чьей ты стороне?
Come on now. Oh, which side are you on?
На чьей ты стороне?
Ебать.